most of them are here. So, what do you think here, Hayden? How fast?
They're going to be chasing that or actually they're going to be chasing the World Championship standard, I'm told, of that 27:28. Both Stanford's Charles Hicks and Kai Robinson. Hicks representing Great Britain. Kai Robinson, Australia, will be eyeing that 27:28 standard here tonight.
That's fast, 27:28. Man, when you think when Zielinski broke the American record, it was just, 30 seconds faster than that at the time. And now Grant Fisher has put us down into that 26 range. Oh, my gosh. Guns up. Here we go.
And another hesitation on the start line. We can't really figure it out here today.
That's it.
Athletes are trying to get that extra millimeter on the start line.
All right, here we go. Payton Jordan Invitational, 10,000. And this is our invitational section. We do see Hicks out there, hip number 1. He is in this race, so that'll be great. Wilshot from Florida State is in there. We've got a couple rabbits to help take us through, so we'll be looking at that 27:50 for U.S., 27:28. NC2As, you're going to have to run certainly under 30, maybe even as fast as 29 to make it to the regionals. So
we'll be looking at 65.9 per lap for the World Championship standard. U.S., they're looking for 66.7. We'll see where in that we end up, but yeah, I mean to make regionals in the 10K, you got to be going, you got to be going sub 29 just about to be sure of your spot.
Yep.
Takes a lot to get into the NCAA championships, one of the top meets in the world. And there's our rabbit right at 65, so they'll be real happy with that one. Hoping to see a bunch of 65 highs in the early phases of this race as the Stanford boys chase the World Championship standard. And you can tell that they are pacing well. It is spread out early. Everybody finding a nice spot on the rail, although there is a little bit of a group up front that hasn't quite decided where they're going to run, but right now the answer is behind the rabbit.
Boy, you couldn't ask for better conditions. It's got to be, if it's 60, it's barely 60, and there is no wind whatsoever. So one of the great things about this meet is the conditions are magnificent, and we've got most of our crowd still here watching. So, and with a good group of Stanford young men in this race, that should get our crowd a little bit excited here as we go through. And there's Hicks there, right on the shoulder of our rabbit, and Wilshot right with him. The two young men we thought would be in it are at 67 on that lap, though.
Yeah, the Stanford fans will like the look of the field right now. Both Hicks and Robinson in the top 6. Wildshut, one of the best runners in the country. Wildshut was second at the NCAA Cross Country Championships, one of the strongest runners in the NCAA, and also the South African national record holder, indoors in the 5K and outdoors in the 10K. So South African record holder in this event, bringing his talents to Palo Alto.
Boy, we got a break already. Look at that. So a real split, almost half the field there.
That is the difference between I am trying to qualify for the World Championships and I am perfectly content making NCAAs.
Is that what it is? Huh?
You saw a couple guys look down at their watches and go, we're running what?
All right. Well, they're going to come around and see that lap counter. It says 22 on it. So we've got a little ways to go here.
Wilshut, just an incredibly smooth runner, sitting there in third. Charles Hicks, the Stanford man, in second.
All right, picked it up a little bit, got back down to 66.
That is Jacob Thompson of Dark Sky sitting in there in third.
God, the NC2A, I mean, to run, gosh, under 29 just to make the regional. That means there's a 96 guys that can run that fast in the country, in the colleges, much less everywhere else. This is tough.
It's getting faster and faster. I mean, no surprise. There's some really incredible runners in the NCAA. Titus Chariot, one of them, representing UTEP in this race, tore his left quad in 2021, unable to train all summer or most of cross country, and has still found his way out to this 10,000.
Wow.
Took him a couple of workouts to realize it was torn. Can you imagine?
Yeah, no, I can't. No, I can't.
I wake up every morning thinking I tore my quad.
Oh, wait till you get older. You'll see how this really works. All right, Hicks is stuck right in there. We'll shut in right behind him. And we come by the first 67, so 4:26 for the first mile, if you will.
Pacing not as aggressive as they might like.
No, our Rabbit's trying to get him out there, and Hicks is staying close. So
I think that is Chris Ollie of PDC taking the pace. Charles Hicks of Stanford tucked behind, Adrian Wildship behind him, and I believe that is Jacob Thompson in
4, 8, 12 guys in that lead group, and that gap is quite a bit there.
Both the Chinese athletes in this race have opted to go with that chase group. Maybe they weren't quite inspired enough by their women or teammates' performance in the 10K.
That was a great race by her.
Yeah, she looks so strong.
All right, here we go.
That's Maggard sitting in 4th place. He's been around the block of the professional running scene, still sticking it out, still running the 10K.
All right, so we go by the 2K at 5:34. That was 67 on that lap. 5:34 at 2K. So we're getting close, right around, you said earlier we had to be 66.7. So we're right around that 27:50, which is U.S. qualifier. All right.
Pacing being done by Ollie, and that pack seems pretty bunched. I think they could get away with running a little bit faster right now, or these guys just need to be patient and tuck in. Hard to be patient when you're running for 20 some odd minutes.
That's true. That's true. However, he just showed us in that race that that's how you work it. She was patient for 23.5 laps.
Yeah, fantastic race by her.
Boy, Charles Hicks looks great, doesn't he? He just looks smooth as can be. Right there in 2nd. Wildshut right there in 3rd. And 68, though, that's why they look so comfortable. We're slowing down. So 68, 6:42.
And we have lost our Rabbit already.
Yes. All right, so Hicks is going to take the pace. Here we go.
Hicks said that's fine. I got it.
All right. They were just waiting for that warm-up lap to go, or that warm-up 6 laps to go. Now we're pushing it. This is Charles Hicks from Stanford.
Followed by Wildshut of Florida State, the South African.
Hicks runs for Great Britain when he runs internationally. Been in the U.S. for several years. Ran in high school down in Florida at the Bulls School. But he grew up in England, and that's where he runs his international for. And Wildshut at Florida State runs for South Africa in 2nd.
Hicks is definitely accelerated.
Is that DeHaan? That is. Now Benjamin DeHaan in 3rd. And Diodonato, is that him in 4th? Yeah.
I think in 4th.
64.
That is Cam Levins. Cam Levins, the Bowerman Award winner, absolute legend of the sport, has made his return. Can't believe we didn't even say his name yet. Cam Levins holds the Canadian marathon record and the 2 miles. So talk about a little bit of range. 10K is right in the middle of that.
Hey, that was 64 on that lap, so he really did pick it up. My goodness, 7:46. All right, this will be 3K here, what we get over here now. So he really did pick it up. Good for him. And you're going to break open that pack. So we are 8:20.
Wildshut in 2nd, following Charles Hicks. We've got Cam Levins floating Back there, the Canadian superstar, two-time cross-country champion in the 10K and the 5K. Canadian cross-country champion as well.
You know, DeHaan ran 102 for the half marathon. Here you go.
DeHaan.
And Levins moves in to take the lead now. Cam Levins from Canada taking the lead. And Hicks is saying to Wildshut, come on up here and do a little work. That's good. If we're going to do this, we'll do it all together. Everybody needs to qualify, so this would be good work for them.
DeHaan back in fourth, represents Biz Sports, World Athletics Agency, runs for the Netherlands when he's running internationally.
102.24 in March for the half, so he's got the strength, yeah. So now our group is down. We said, what, a minute ago? Just 12 a minute ago, and now we're down to 9. So it's a war of attrition here.
I think that is Levins that has decided to do the work up front. Marathon record holder, two-time Olympian in London, was 10K and 5K in London, and then the marathon in Tokyo. So he is no stranger to hard work at the front of a race.
Well, we got 3 Stanford men in this race hanging right in there. That's pretty good.
We got a 67 low on that one.
Very good.
Cam Levins doing the work. And that's who you want doing the work. Marathon record holder, famous
Someone that can push
runner.
that pace, huh? Wildshut in second, Hicks in third.
Levins used to be known for doing triples, 3 runs a day, as if one isn't enough.
You 800-meter runners, I tell you.
You give me 5 or 6 good miles, and that's plenty.
You don't want to overdo anything, you know.
No, exactly.
You don't want to kill yourself.
Levins is like 6 miles. That's not even a warm-up.
All right, here comes Levin in the lead here. Wildshut in second. Hicks now moving up the outside shoulder there. Hicks is tucked on the inside.
Now that's Kai Robinson making
right.
a move on the outside, coming up to join Levins at the front.
66 on that lap, so we are running pretty good paces here.
Dylan Maggard tucked behind in that white kit. Look for him to feature late. We've broken up into 2 big groups and then a couple of solo runners. We've got more of our NCAA group in the back.
We do. We've got Tips Proctor there from Washington there.
That is a Oklahoma State jersey, I think. That bright orange might not be. Bright orange I always associate with Oklahoma State, that incredible distance program there. But we say that second group's the NCAA group, but we've got some NCAA athletes up front.
Several.
Most notably, Kai Robinson and Charles Hicks, the Stanford boys, trying to
Wildshut,
put on a
Florida
show.
State right in there. DeHaan right up in there also. Cole Sprout.
Yeah, don't forget him.
Cole Sprout tucked in there.
3 Stanford guys tucked into that front group. We still have not had a Stanford winner yet at the Payton Jordan Invitational.
That's right. Maybe we'll finish the night off with a Stanford victory here.
A lot of great guys in that field, but would be fun to see a Stanford guy take a win in front of the home crowd. Still a pretty good crowd here.
There you go. Sprout's moving up a little bit. He's 13.24 indoors this year. Just a sophomore here at Stanford. Part of that, ran that great race with Nico Young in high school, 8:40, the Arcadia Invitational, where they raced down to the line. It was a state record for Sprout.
Charles Hicks still in that lead pack, majoring in cognitive science, as if running's not hard enough. I wonder what he's thinking about in this.
He's got a lot of time to think while he's out training, so it's good.
All-American, Pac-12 champion.
This is their Stanford guys. Look at that. 3 in the top 6 there.
Yep. They're looking good.
Robinson, our leader. Wildshut, Hicks. Levin on the inside. Sprouts on the outside. And DeHaan. And right there pushing those 67s. Oh, our pack it winnows down. We said it's a war of attrition, and now the formation is 7, maybe 7+1. And this is Wild Shut now starting to move.
Starting to lose. Jacob Thompson of Dark Sky Under Armour bleeding off the back a little bit off this very fast pace. Now the back of the group is
that Pereira from Harvard?
It is.
Harvard's got some good distance runners.
They do.
They've done a good job. We saw Utah Valley run well. Harvard kids run well. And now Adrian Wildshut of Florida State.
Maggard's starting to get a little antsy with this pace. Decided he wants to come up and show his face to the cameras.
Okay.
Maggard, or excuse
66, 66.
Wildshut followed by Hicks, followed by Maggard.
What you got to like about Hicks is he's been right there, second, third, right in there the whole time. He's really in control of what's going on.
He's running a great race.
All right, well, we're down to 8 now. We've lost our 1 off the back, so.
Wildshut, no stranger to leading races, started his collegiate career at Coastal Carolina, where regularly him and his brother would drop the entire field in the first 200 meters of a race and just run solo. Those two were so strong, got the privilege of watching them before he transferred to Florida State and went from one of the best runners in his conference to one of the best runners in the NCAA.
Well, he looks good leading this field, but a lot of guys look good in this field.
That they do.
In fact, everybody in that group, you know.
Pereira's even hung on a little bit.
He has. He may be suffering a little bit, but it's not bad. You look like and now Levin decides to take it back. 66 again.
Those Stanford guys look smooth, man.
They do.
We've got 3 Stanford guys in the pack of 8 up front.
All right, Levin, Wildshut, Hicks, that's Sprout, and DeHaan. And Stanford still 3 of the top 6.
Hicks running just a great, smart race, holding onto the rail.
He hasn't run an extra step the whole time, has he?
It's
He
that cognitive science major, you know?
See, getting some value to go to class. He's counting the steps every time he goes.
Smart guy. Pereira still hanging in on the back of that.
You got to figure that Wildshut and Hicks will battle in the NC2A championship. I mean, they got to be 2 of the biggest players there.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, you look at Wildshut's runner-up. Yep.
Levin looks good, though, also on the inside. Levin, Wildshut, Hicks, DeHaan, Sprouts moving up.
Maggard trying to get a little bit of room. Maybe just stretching out his arm.
That was a 65. All right. They are moving.
Levins is moving that train along. Leading Wildshut and 3 Stanford boys.
Boy, that's got to be tough. You've gone 4 miles or 3 miles, and they start picking it up on you again. You know.
And can't let the pace lag. These guys are eyeing that U.S. championship. Some of the guys eyeing the world championship standard. It's no softball.
We said it would be a competitive race. It certainly is. You've got 8 guys that have a shot at this, and we've only got a little bit more than 2 miles to go. We're coming up to 3,600 to go.
Still Cam Levins in the lead, followed by Wildshut. And then 2
Sprout's
Stanford
moving
guys.
back up in there.
Hicks and Sprout.
There you go.
As Kai Robinson sits
He's
back.
trying to hang in there, isn't he? 66 again.
I think we are going to lose Pereira and Benjamin DeHaan from that
but you know what?
group.
We've been saying that about Pereira for the last mile and a half.
Yeah, he's hung in there.
And he hangs in there, yeah.
Let's see if he can get around
they're picking it
DeHaan
up.
here. Oh, I think the pace just lagged a little bit. Both of those guys just very fluidly got onto the back of that pack.
Sprouts trying to move up on the outside. Levin still leading.
Still.
DeHaan looks good in there. Robinson looks good.
Still over 2 miles to go. Can't let the pace lag yet. Got to work together with these guys to keep the pace hot to get these standards. Much easier to say that up in the booth than it is to say that down there.
At least they're warm down there. There you go. So, All right, so we're looking at trying to go 27:50. That's the U.S. qualifier for the USATF meet. All right, Cole Sprouts.
We have a
there you
Stanford
go, my
leader.
man. There you go. Sprouts taking the lead for a while, taking his turn. Wildshut Hicks comes up on his outside shoulder. Robinson in there also. And Dylan Maggart. Oh. Looked like we were going to lose it there for a minute. But Cole Sprouts now moving into the lead and picking up the pace.
Cole Sprout, the sophomore, third at Nike Cross Nationals in high school in 2019. All-American, broke the national sophomore record in the 3K. Definitely has some credentials, but would like to set some of those credentials
He's got
in.
Speed of the 800. He goes all the way up to 10,000. Pretty impressive.
I'm sure he is hoping to set some new credentials in that Stanford kit this evening.
I guess we can't write off Pereira anymore again. Look at him, still tucked in
he
there.
is still in that, in that pack. DeHaan worked his way back in as well. I wonder if we'll see a little bit of a slower lap.
Yeah, we're coming up with 2,800 meters to go. Yep, 2,800. 7 laps, here we go. Sprout looks good. Sprout, Wildchuck, Hicks, Maggart, and Robinson. And Levin, though, that's the first we've seen a little bit of chink in his armor, huh?
Levins, I think, is still looking okay. He is starting to rock in the shoulders a little bit. 67. As he sits back, maybe he's just biding his time sitting in the back of that.
Sprout looks like he's got a little itch to go, doesn't he?
He does. Wildshut still got.
This could be a big race for him.
Wildshut still got definitely some legs left in him. He looks too smooth.
We said Sprouts had run a really good 5,000 this year, so ready to make the step up to the 10,000. That might be a preview right there of the NC2A meet, right there. Sprouts, Wildshut, and Hicks right there. You could easily, boy, he is moving. He looks good.
Yeah, they're making this pace look way too easy.
Can they hold it for another 6 laps?
4:30 pace.
Holy cow.
About 4:30 per mile.
Yeah, here we go.
For those of you that prefer your laps in miles. Wildshut back to the front.
There you go.
Another changing the guard and a little bit of an acceleration. DeHaan back, and look who is still sticking around in the back of that group.
66 on that group.
Pereira.
Oh, he moved up in it.
Tough race.
That's it, huh? You can't get rid of him. He's a tough guy, hanging right in there. Oh, now Hicks, it's his turn. All right, maybe that was the goal. Sprouts took him out, and now Hicks takes him out. Boy, Stanford, 3 kids right there. Look at those guys. They're running well.
You know who's been tucking in, biding his time for a while?
Now we're moving. Now we're moving. Here we go. Hicks, Wildshut, and Maggart, and Sprout. Robinson, Levin.
You're starting to see some gaps in that lead group, though.
It is. It's a little bit, they're not on the shoulder anymore, are they?
They might just be navigating that traffic, though. We'll see. We'll see when they come down the home stretch.
Our man Pierre, though, this may be it. This may be the time we lose him.
Oh, he's looking tough back there. He's running a great race.
He has. All right. 5 laps to go. 2,000 meters to go. 2K. Hicks, Wildshut, Maggart, Sprouts, Robinson, and Levin. 65. Yeah. All right. Here we go. 65 for Hicks, picking it up.
Kem Levins just took a real long look at his watch. Was like, oh, that's why I'm not feeling that good. Because Hicks is up front running 65s and making it look easy.
Wildshut, though, matching him stride for stride for stride.
3 Stanford runners, 1 Florida State, Canadian and unattached in the top 6.
All 3 Stanford guys right in it still. Maggart looks good.
Pereira still, I mean, he's not on that group, but he is definitely fighting.
He's hanging tough. He's hanging tough.
He's not let that gap open up much.
Crimson is hanging in there. He's even coming back a little bit. He's listening to you. He said, I'll show you guys. I'll get back right up in this thing. All right, when we come by here now, when they finish 1,600, 4 laps, a mile to go. How fast will we run the last mile here? All right, Hicks. He's the leader.
I go sub 4:18.
Let's see. We go 4:23:21. Let's keep that in mind and see what we get over this last mile. All right, Hicks, Wildshut, Maggart, Sprout, Robinson and Levin. You still think Levin's got it in him, huh?
To win, no. To hang, yes.
All right, all right.
I wouldn't bet against Hicks' kick.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Cooper Tier found out.
Yeah. Wildshot's got some speed too, though, and he's starting to try to burn some people off.
Oh no, yeah, it's certainly true. Yeah. So.
You can kind of, I'm using Pereira as just like my gap holder of like,
Pereira's
going to keep running the same pace.
That's it.
So if they get farther in front, they're speeding up.
That's it. They are picking it up now. Your gap indicator is indicating that now. There you go.
Pereira is still probably going to run one of the top times in the country.
Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. 1,200 to go now. 1,200 to go. All right. It is. There we go.
76.
Yeah.
Or 66,
66.
rather. Well, I think we're going to see some new top NCAA marks.
Oh, God. 28:01, Dylan Jacobs, huh? Yeah. Oh, Levins looks like he's dropping back a bit. That might be it. That might be it.
I think they're just accelerating up front.
Maybe,
Wildshut is
maybe.
just pushing that gas pedal down a little bit more every single lap.
3 Stanford guys still in it, still in it.
Keep an eye on Maggard, though, at the end of this race. He's got a good turn of speed.
I just got to believe Hicks is, though, waiting. He's just like he in the last race when she was just saying, oh, here you go, Maggard now making a move in the white.
Maggard must have heard me because he's about to take over the lead of this race.
That's it. Dylan Maggard now in the white.
In the lead.
Takes the lead with 800 now, 800 to go. Maggard, Wildshut, Hicks right up in it. Robinson and Sprouts hanging close.
Hicks queuing up, ready to run.
66 on that. Let's see how fast we get.
Sprout hanging on
We're
by
down
a thread.
To 5.
Sprout hanging on by a thread, but he's still hanging. Robinson in front of him.
Will we get a Stanford win before we go home? That's the question. Stanford boys running in 3, 4, and 5.
The odds keep getting better every lap. We had 3 of them in 8, then 3 and 7. Now we got 3 and 5.
That's it. Hicks trying to move up in it. Sprouts got to hang, got to hang. Come on, man. You're 600 meters away.
I think if
Robinson,
Stanford wants a win, Hicks is their best bet.
Guy. Yeah.
There go Robinson and Sprout losing a little bit of space.
But running fast.
It's Maggard, then Wildshut, then Hicks. Coming into 500 meters to go.
After 24 laps, we're going to have a 400-meter sprint. And Hicks, though, dropping back a little bit. Maggard and Wildshut. And they're running, the lights go down again. That was 63 on that lap. 63, that's why we spread out. Maggard and Wildshut. Hicks, Sprouts trying to come back. Robinson trying to finish strong. Down the backstretch, Maggard and Wildshut. They are flying. Sprouts trying to move up on Hicks. Robinson and Pereira for Harvard coming back.
It's the hunter versus the hunted. Maggard getting hunted
to go.
Maggard getting hunted by Wildshut with 180 meters to go.
We will have a new NCAA leader, that's for sure. And we'll have some U.S. qualifiers, but Maggard coming home. Outstanding race over the last mile. Dylan Maggard will win it. He's coming home. Wildshut, Hicks,
cheering on the
Sprouts.
fans.
And 59 on that last lap. He thinks he's got another to go still. Holy cow.
Hicks still running 27:41,
wow.
Highly unofficial. 39, he dipped under 39.
So that is our new NCAA leader.
Well, Hicks would be the NCAA leader if Wildshut didn't beat him by 1 second in that race.
Maggard 27, 37, 26. Wildshut 27, 38, 54. That's a new NC2A leader. Hicks 27, 40, 60. Oh my gosh, he closed on him, didn't he? So he only got beat by a second and a half. So great race for Hicks. So Stanford goes 27, 40.
Wow, what a run by Dylan Maggard.
And Cole Sprouts, that's a big PR for him. 27:42.42. And Robinson will end up on that fifth. So Pereira did get fifth. Comes back 27:45. That's a great race for him. Boy, he's tough.
So you mentioned that mile, 4:15. Last lap was sub 60.
Oh, 4:15 for the last mile for Maggard. Great job.
Highly unofficial. That's just based off my watch.
That's all right. And for a 59 last lap, and he looked like, he almost looked like he thought he had another lap. He was still going.
He had some gas in the tank
He
for
did.
sure.
He
Spent a little bit of it cheering on the crowd with 50 meters to go.
Well, Stanford didn't get a win, but they sure had a heck of a race there. 3 guys there under 27:48. So that's pretty impressive there. Just to give you an idea how fast. So the whole field is in and done, and we're at 29:30 right now. We've got a couple more guys to bring home, but a lot of guys ended up with NCAA qualifiers, certainly in that.
Yeah, that when you pull up the top marks in the NCAA tomorrow morning, you're going to see a handful from Payton Jordan, especially at the top of the table.
A nice finish to a good day of distance running. Tomorrow, join us again for the big meet, the 127th edition of the Cal Stanford dual meet, a true dual meet, like the good old days when it comes down to can you keep them from going 1, 2, 3, and make sure they don't get that 9 points there, and who wins the 4x4 at the end of the day. So we hope you'll join us for that tomorrow on FloTrack, the big meet.